I'm David Packman at the National Conference for Media Reform in Denver, Colorado. I'm here with Stephen Justino, co-chair of the Colorado Move to Amend. Let's talk first about that. What is that?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me here, David. Colorado Move to Amend is part of the Move to Amend coalition. For your viewers, Move to Amend is a group that grew up arising out of the Citizens United versus FEC decision, and it's a group that's dedicated to amending the U.S. Constitution so that it says two things clearly and unequivocally. First of all, that rights recognized under the Constitution belong to human beings only, not to artificial entities like corporations, and money is not speech. Our democracy is being taken from us because voices of people like you and people like me are being drowned out by unlimited corporate money in politics and individual millionaire and billionaire money in politics. The only way to change that is to amend the Constitution to say that corporations are not people and money is not speech.
So in Colorado, what's happening? In other words, what's the work on the ground, the nitty-gritty of what's happening?
Well, we're doing some really interesting work here in Colorado. We, of course, had Amendment 65, which passed in the fall, which was a recognition that there is a problem and that something needs to change. Move to Amend is trying to provide people with the action step. And what we're doing in that regard is we're now lobbying our federal legislators. We have met with Senator Bennett's senior staff here in Denver. We've met with Senator Udall's senior staff, and we've met with Congressman Perlmutter's senior staff to educate them on the need to amend the Constitution using the We the People Amendment, which was introduced by Congressman Nolan from Minnesota and Congressman Pocan from Wisconsin. It's the only amendment that's been introduced in Congress that addresses both corporate constitutional rights and money is speech. It's the one that Move to Amend is supporting, and we're trying to educate people and get them to commit to supporting it as well.
So essentially right now we have a system where all of those who are currently elected officials were elected under the current system of campaign finance. So by definition, even if they express some level of opposition, they do have that system to thank for getting to where they are today. So how do you address that? In other words, how do you get those who are in power because of the status quo to want to change it?
It really is asking the fox to guard the chicken house.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult situation to be in. We just have to appeal to our legislators' fundamental sense of what a democracy should be. A democracy should be a political system where ideas are passed and approved based on the quality of the idea, not on the ability of someone to promote a bad idea because they have a lot of money. And that's the situation we have right now. So it really is educating people that what we have now is not a functional democracy and appealing to their patriotism, basically asking them to restore the founders' vision of a participatory democracy where people govern themselves and make decisions about their own lives.
And as we know, when you ask people whether they believe Citizens United was a good thing, overwhelmingly people don't. But the problem is that it's difficult to translate that into getting those in power to allow the system really to change. So do you think that doing what you're doing at the state level in more states, is that the best path forward?
I think it's really the only legitimate way to do it, actually. We're even closer to the grassroots than the state level. Move to Amend is a true grassroots issue advocacy organization. We're educating people on a local level to put pressure on their legislators at a city level, at a county level, and a state level to get them to put pressure on their federal legislators. So we're hoping that by building a groundswell of support among the people, and like you said, people understand this. When this gets voted on by the people, it typically passes 75 to 25, 80 to 20. People understand this and they know that it's wrong, and it's going to be that groundswell of popular support that causes our politicians to act.
We've been speaking with Stephen Justino. He's the co-chair of the Colorado Move to Amend movement. Great to meet you. Great to talk to you today.
Thanks very much, David. Appreciate it.